Hello and welcome to Sincerely Elvis Presley. I'm Sean. Thanks for taking the time away from melting in the heat wave to tune in. I appreciate it. I hope you're all managing to keep cool and survive this current blast of heat we're having, certainly over here in the UK and I know across Europe. Not sure about our friends in the States, but it's usually quite hot there this time of year anyway, isn't it? So I'm sure we're all sweltering together. And it feels kind of apt to be unboxing the sessions relating to a movie set in tropical Hawaii in these kind of conditions. But I'm not going to hang around too long because believe me, this tiny little room is like a bit of a sweatbox. So yeah, here we go. Now it's felt like a little bit of a long wait for this one because the Day by Day website announced that it'd been released on the 15th of June. And I thought, great, yeah, have it any day. But of course, I always forget to take into account FTD is manufactured in Europe and it's got to get across the English Channel before we get it. So here we are 12 days later. But let's get this open. So, Paradise Hawaiian style sessions. Although I know these are going to be great listening in terms of humour because we've heard things like dating and a dog's life on the silver box and we know Elvis was cracking himself up. But in terms of sessions, I think I may have said it in an earlier video, we're not quite going to get the band messing around with arrangements and Elvis and the band feeling their way into it, because the band recorded the backing tracks on the 26th and 27th of July 65 and Elvis then went in, whether he was so disenchanted with the material that he just couldn't be bothered to attend the sessions, but you know, 2nd, 3rd and 4th of August he went in and just overdubbed the lot. So we're not going to kind of get, apart from Sandcastles, which for me is the best track on the album, wasn't included in the movie but put on as a bonus song, and that was recorded with the band. But you know, overall Elvis overdubs his session, so we're not going to get that kind of feeling their way around, interaction, arrangements, playing around with the songs, but it should still be entertaining. Not the strongest of material, has to be said. Queenie Wahini's Papaya, Dog's Life, that kind of thing, aren't particularly great, are they? I don't think anyone would think they, well, maybe people think they are, each to their own, but they're not great for me. The movie's not great for me, but of course it's an Elvis session set. You've got the rest, you've got to have this one, haven't you? Here we go. There we go. Elvis Presley, the Paradise Hawaiian style sessions. Usual brilliant front cover and then the usual layout that they've pretty much all had on the back. So I will try and endeavour to not open this with my teeth because I know David on his channel pointed out that and spoofed me for opening some cellophane or shrink wrap with my teeth, which I don't actually remember doing, but yeah, it's highly believable. How uncouth. Right, let's get this open and let's have ourselves a quick look. So first and foremost, now we've got rid of the glare of the shrink, I'll give you a look at the track list, so hopefully you can pause on that if you want to and see all the detail. So we've got original album masters and then we start with outtakes, and yeah, how many Queenie Wahini's Papaya do we get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takes. Oh well, sort of mercifully short on what I think is the weakest track. So we get more of This Is My Heaven. Sandcastles will get a few. Yeah, looks really great. So let's have just a quick look what we get inside. So we get our tape box as ever, and we should see the discs all in. No, they're actually hanging out, and we get our 3 discs. Brilliant. We've come accustomed to these, but they look great, don't they? And all on the shelf together. Fantastic. And then we get our booklet with, of course, the Fun in Acapulco shot, because they decided Elvis didn't look great in publicity shots. What's wrong with that? Very, very strange. But there we go. as usual, we'll get our track lists in our first couple of pages. Then we get some context set in, and some of the publicity shots, and then some stills from the movie. Background detail. They do such a good job of these, don't they? Even manages to make what I believe is a fairly mediocre movie at best look quite interesting. Of course, it was Hal Wallace's last shot at trying to recreate the glory of Blue Hawaii, wasn't it? Which it didn't quite live up to. But nevertheless, this looks fantastic and great to have, great to add to the sessions list, great to add to the collection. Now, of course, if you put this into context, you know, this is August, and towards the end of the month, after recording, filming a movie that he knew was below par. He's singing to children, he's singing to a helicopter full of dogs, and at the end of the month where he recorded or overdubbed these tracks, you know, It's a Dog's Life, You Scratch My Back, I'll Scratch Yours, he plays host to the Beatles at his home in Bel Air. You know, what a contrast. What must he have been thinking? There's these four guys taking the world by storm, and revolutionising music in the way he'd done in the 50s, and you know, a few weeks before he's recording material like this. It must have been going through his mind, you know, what's going on, because it can't be a coincidence that very shortly after that we get the How Great They Are sessions and the beginning of the artistic resurgence. But you know, this wasn't the end of it. What surprised, you know, we've got a little way to go until we really see, because we've still got Double Trouble to come. I'm surprised this one's come out before Frankie and Johnny, because we know there's sessions available for that, and I was expecting to see that. Elvis is in good voice in this. I think Scotty on his brilliant Scotty as Elvis Presley music channel has pointed out that he kind of does tend to over project on this material, and he did on Frankie and Johnny. My view on that is sort of twofold. I think one, it sort of indicates how bored he was with the material and he was just playing around with his voice. But I also think that there's an argument to be made, because the tracks are overdubbed and he's just listening to them on playback and singing along to them. I think if he was in there with the band and had more chance to sort of interact, he may have felt that, you know, yeah, I'm overdoing this a little bit. I'm soaring with my vocals on songs that really don't warrant it. Because, you know, listen to the subtleties of Sandcastles, which is beautiful, and there he is with the band. So I'm looking forward to listening to this. I think it's going to be really entertaining, and we're going to get to see Elvis cracking up a lot, which, you know, which is always brilliant to hear, isn't it? So yeah, thoroughly brilliant, thoroughly, you know, chuffed to bits to eventually get my hands on this. So I thought I'd do a little unboxing, because you know, it's quite traditional for me to do so, even though it's roastingly hot. But you know, it's very, very apt, because it's tropical here and it was tropical in the movie. So there we go, there's your Paradise Hawaiian style sessions. So FTD, we know we've got the Soldier Boy book set coming. We've got the reissue of Promised Land. They will also be eventually putting out that the Summer Nights soundboards from '74 that was supposed to accompany this. Walked itself into a little bit of controversy online because of what appeared to be AI generated images. Now, I did hear yesterday somebody say, can't remember who, I think it was on another video, that the image that was used that was particularly bad that I showed in my last video was not actually part of the FTD package, but was actually one of the bonus cards that always come with FTD releases from the Elvis Shop London. I'm not sure I believe that, because it was just one image. The cards that the Elvis Shop London produce are long cards with lots of images on. And also, all the other Elvis dealers use that image to advertise this. And they wouldn't be using an image that showing an Elvis Shop London bonus card. So I'm not sure I believe that. It might be true, but what else from FTD? So I think we will see the Frankie and Johnny sessions possibly this year. We know we've got Bob Parker's excellent Celluloid Sellout Volume 3 coming. I think that's probably August, September time. And in the comments, somebody's been rumouring, and I hope it's true, that we're going to get a book and multi-CD set of February 1970, focusing on that season in Vegas. Now, that would be fantastic. The only question mark I have on that, we're getting the big Soldier Boy book set and CD set. So I can't recall a time when FTD have done 2 massive book and CD sets in the same year. So whether that's going to bleed over into next year, early next year, maybe February next year, an anniversary. But yeah, lots and lots of great things coming out at the moment. You know, and I don't know if anyone caught the short that I put out a couple of days ago, and it's been doing the rounds on YouTube and social media quite a lot. But here in the UK, football team Sunderland AFC, who have been, their fans have been chanting "Can't Help Falling in Love" on the terraces since the 70s, and they've struck up a deal with EPE, or not necessarily EPA. I think it's Authentic Brands, the owners of the, you know, the Elvis image and what have you. They're going to have a specific pink and black Elvis away kit that their team's going to wear. If you haven't seen the video, check out my short or any of the others, because it really is well put together, and you know, shots of Elvis and people, the crowd chanting "Can't Help Falling in Love" brought a lump to my throat. And I'm pretty sure it will to a lot of you too. So that's it. I'm going to go now, because I am literally about to just melt into a pool of sweat on the floor. What a lovely image. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little unboxing. Great to have the Paradise of Wine Star sessions. Let me know in the comments. Have you got it ordered? Have you already got it? Have you given this one a pass? What do you think of the Paradise of Wine style soundtrack? What do you think of the Paradise of Wine style movie? And unusually, this will be going out on Saturday evening. Tomorrow, I do have a new video live as well. So that'll be going out at 6 o'clock as well. Hope you're able to join me. As ever, thank you for watching. I appreciate it massively. I hope you're keeping cool, because it is ridiculously hot at the moment. Whatever you're doing, take care. Till the next time. Ta-da.
We'll meet you again. May God bless you. Adios.